Hi everybody, it's Tristan Knitting Lady down at the beach again. It's gonna rain, but I figured I could get a quick walk in. I was busy all day doing things. Just watched a boring seminar for tax stuff. So I figured before I fall asleep, let me take a walk. Okay. This is a bit of education about sea turtles. I know I used to see enough of them in North Carolina. Even though it's overcast, it's a pretty sight, isn't it? Different shades, blue going into gray. Okay, I'm not too bad. I have my wrong glasses on. These are I usually wear these computer. So let me get ready and go home, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hi, I'm redoing this section because I was just going on about the guy who lives underneath me constantly working on his car. You know, he's not supposed to be out there working on his car. He's been working on the same thing for 2 months that I've been here, probably even longer. So I parked somewhere else. We don't have designated parking spaces, but you know how people park the same place and they get annoyed if they have to park somewhere, somewhere else. So I just parked across the way. Usually somebody else parks there, but I hadn't seen him for a while. I said, I think I'm okay. Well, this is the night he comes home. So he parked next to the guy working on his car. I don't know. He'll start working on his car, leave everything open, the hood, the door, and go disappear for sometimes hours. I remember one day he was doing that, and I was going somewhere, and I was out for a while, and I came back, and sure enough, the car was still hood open, door open. Where'd he disappear to? I don't know. So he's out there with a flashlight working on his car. I wouldn't be able to see. So let me talk about some trivia. Oh, I'm almost finished my sweater. Wait, excuse me. I wondered where she go. Where did she go? Oh, I'm binding off. This is the top and down the bottom. I'm binding off, and then I'll work on the sleeves. This is look at that pattern. That looks a little weird, don't it? I think variegated yarn works up better when you crochet. I should have used, well, if I use another, if I do that pattern again, well, I'm going to change things around. I'm going to use a solid color. It will be all right. So, that's what I was working on. I was listening to that boring tax seminar. So, did you know there's a town called Jackpot in Nevada? And which city built the world's first underground metro system? It was London. January 10th, 1863, it opened, and it nicknamed it Tube. Now, there's a train between Newark, New Jersey, and Jersey City. No, Newark, New Jersey, and New York City. It starts out in Newark, New Jersey. It goes, first stop is Harrison. My brother lives in Kearney, which is the next town over from Harrison. Then it goes to Jersey City, stops a couple of places in Jersey City, and then it goes into New York. 2 places in New York. It could go down Midtown near Macy's, or near the old World Trade Center. And we since we lived in Kearney so many years, my father used to take that train to work. It's partly underground, partly above ground. But we always called that the tubes. It's the PATH train. Port Authority Transit Authority. Wait, PATH. No, Port Authority Trans-Hudson. Otherwise, PATH. But anybody who grew up in Hudson County, New Jersey, remember that is the tubes. So London Underground was the tube too. So what else can I tell you? Today's the 23rd. It's the birthday of Kobe Bryant. He was born in 1978. Didn't he pass away? I think so. 1931, Barbara Eden, I Dream of Jeannie. And River Phoenix would have been his birthday. He was born in 1970 and unfortunately died in 1993, the age of 23. The speed limit in New York City in 1895 was 8 miles an hour. Isn't that something? The official name of the Pringles. Did anybody ever eat Pringles? Official name of the Pringles mascot is Julius. He's got a bushy mustache, beady eyes, and a red signature bow tie. And he's been around since 1967. Before, when I went to the store, it's funny, I watched this, not watched it, I was looking at this trivia. And first thing I see when I walked into the store was Pringles. I just thought that was funny. And until the 1800s, trains were unheard of in the United States. President Andrew Jackson rode on one in 1833. In fact, he was the first president to ride on a train. He took a pleasure trip from Washington, D.C. to Baltimore, Maryland on the B&O, Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. And of course, railroads were called iron horses. And I was going to go into more the history of trains, but I have to look into that more. The first steam engine was introduced to the United States in 1830. And they were discussing how the railroad opened up the West. The Peoria Party would be the first documented group of pioneers to set up to go west. That's by 1839. So I should look into more history of the railroad. I retired from the railroad. I worked for the railroad for over 25 years. I did payroll. In fact, I had a chance to become a locomotive engineer. I'll be honest with you. Because they were looking, for more women. But I couldn't work these swing shifts. My son was young. I couldn't, and plus you have to be on call until you build up some seniority. And I couldn't do that. Because I had a boyfriend who was a locomotive engineer. And he always said to me, why don't you go for it? It's not a hard job. He says it's like driving a car. So I looked into it, but I couldn't do that because Jerry, my son, was still young, and I was a single parent. I didn't have anybody to watch him, especially you were on call. So that's why I didn't do it. But one of the ladies who did become a locomotive engineer was a former Broadway dancer. Very attractive. So I remember when she used to come up to payroll. Sometimes she'd come up because we had both looked into it at the time, and I decided not to do it. She went forward with it because she was single at the time. And when she came up to payroll, I remember all the guys were like, "Who's that?" She's an engineer. She drives the train. Yep. She was still working. She's a little younger than me. She was still working when I retired. Still driving that train. They make really good money. So it would have been good, but didn't work out. So that's about it. Nothing else is new. Just busy working and, getting things done. I did a lot of cooking today since I'll be working 5 days in a row, and I had to get my meals ready. Because I can't just go out and eat anything. Just the way it is. So I hope everybody's... Oh, I have one more thing to note. The channel Just Another Stitch with Connie. Please look into that. She has a giveaway going on. She designs patterns. Her latest is the alien beanie. It's really cute with black background with the green alien figures. And plus she's giving away patterns to her other, I think, what else? She has hats, she has scarves. I'm trying to think all her different patterns. So just look up Just Another Stitch and you'll see Connie. She always has something coming out almost every day, really. She has lives going on. She, she always has her cat news when she has her, she talks during the week about her 2 kitties. And they nicknamed her husband the Biscuit. I don't know why. I don't have time to watch all these videos, so I lose track of what's going on. It's not that I don't mean to watch everybody, it's just that I just lose the time. Just, I don't know where it goes to. I was sitting here before thinking I'm going to watch a couple videos. Well, and I said, oh, let me get this done. Then I'll watch some videos. So take care, everybody. Keep well. Bye now.